welcome to another Flourish workshop. Hope you can. I'll just make sure that I can see the chat as well. Great to see you here, Georgina. Media and communications consultant, moving into coaching and training. I have read that coaching is the fastest growing area at the moment. So yay for you. Jeff, many busy hands at Facebook. Please like and follow. We work on promoting safe and well-rewarded rural and regional employment for young visitors to the country. Wonderful. Welcome, Jeff. And Jane, professional organizer in Ride, Sydney. I organize for happiness in the home. I recommended someone to go and find your website the other day and connect with you, Jane, because I'm just fascinated by what you do and think it's so awesome. Okay, we've also got... you're very, very welcome. All right, so let's get stuck in. So this is presented by Hello Media and Positive Passionate Businesswoman. And I'm going to just ask, I'm not sure if Ethel's in here at the moment, but if she's not, could Shem or Shai please send her a message and just ask if she could please insert 1, 2, 3, 4 into page number 5 about the bite size circular, whatever we want to call it, the bite size page anyway, because I just thought I'd really like to share that with everybody. I hadn't put it in before because I hadn't thought about it, and I just suddenly went, oh, this is a great way to have a little look at the repurposing of the blogs. So I'm going to, if Shem, if you could just send her a little message, that would be awesome, to ask if she could put that in. So today's topic is the why, what, and how of writing blogs for your business. Can you guys please jump into the chat and let me know, do you have a blog? Have you ever written a blog? And if so, how often do you post a blog? Are you consistent? Are you sporadic? Do you have intentions to be consistent? Tell me about what's going on there with your blog. So I actually have 2 completely separate blogs on my website. So one is the Hello Media blog, where I would like to say that I'm consistent, but really it's probably more like once a month ish. I love that Amanda says, I wrote one this morning, haven't done one for months. And James says, I'm sporadic. Andrea says, not yet, but I'm here to start one. Yay. Kate says, no, but I'd like to create one. Awesome. And I've just started writing on my Facebook, and both times I've scored a client. It's amazing, isn't it, Ash? When you put it out there so people know you exist, then they can work with you, which I think is just wonderful. Oh, awesome. Richard, we blog almost 1 blog post per month. That's what I'd like to say about Hello Media too. Almost 1 blog post per month. However, secretly, in behind the background of the Hello Media website, there are at least 20 unfinished blog posts waiting, because ideally I want to be blogging once a week. And so I start them, or the way that I do it for me, I don't create them in Word or anything like that. I actually create them in the back end of the website. So it might be, I might say to myself, oh, I really want to blog on that topic. So I put a little bit of stuff, and there might even literally be a link to a website that, or maybe a screenshot of a social post I've seen. So I'll pop that in the background as notes, and then I'll come back to it. But that's the problem, is the back to it bit. However, on the other side of it, I also have the Bite Size Business blog. And that one is religiously, we're putting in that once a week. So I will say, yes, thumbs up to me for our Bite Size Business blog once a week. The Hello Media blog, not so regular, but I'm trying. So I'm going to show you what that's all about in a moment. But if you're going to post content on your site anyway, then you may as well take the time to make sure that Google takes notice of your efforts. So I just really need to jump in around that SEO part right from the very beginning, because you might be putting a product up. If you're a product-based business, you might be just writing a page, something about a new service offering or a program that you're launching. So, or it might be a blog post, of course, but whatever it is, if you're going to be putting it up there, make sure that you've really thoroughly researched what are your keywords and what is it that you want to be putting in there, so that when people are searching and they don't know that you exist, it's your page that's going to show up. So that's a really important piece right there. So think about that. When you're writing a blog, make sure that you're going to be found by Google, because my goodness, the amount of time and effort and love that goes into writing anything from a product description to a blog post, then you really want to make sure that you're getting the maximum bang for your buck with that time and effort and energy that you have put into it. So let's move straight along here. I want to tell you a little bit about me in the background, behind the scenes. So I'm Kylie Mowbray Allen from Hello Media, and we help small business owners become digital marketing superstars. And we use the client attraction marketing method. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Bite Size Business Live podcast in a moment. Ethel's just inserting that whole page so I can share that with you in a sec, because that's very much really centered around a blog post. Anyway, I'll move on from that though. Social Media Marketing Society, I've been a member of them for many, many years, based in the States. It really helps me to stay on top of the game. There's constant new trainings and all that, and it all comes out of Social Media Marketing World, which is the next picture, which I have been going to for, I think it might be 6 years now, once a year in San Diego, so that I can network, connect, collaborate, and learn from the top in my industry. So I'm hoping that you guys are doing something similar, where you're constantly upskilling and finding new ways to connect. Now, during the pandemic, I did it online rather than obviously wasn't able to turn up in person, and really found it wasn't great for me at all. And I really realized how important that in-person networking piece is. So yeah, make sure you think about what is it that you're doing, maybe yearly or maybe once every couple of years, to help you upskill and connect. So I am a speaker, coach, mentor, writer, designer, presenter, content creator, branding specialist, and strategic consultant. So I just have got my next qualification. It was very, very challenging and arduous. Not the content in it. I almost thought I could have would have liked to have co-hosted it with her, but she's one of my main gurus, which is why as soon as she offered it, I put it out there. But also there's not that much in terms of digital marketing, in terms of certifications out there, because, you know, it still is, well, it just changes all the time. So anyway, I jumped on it when it was on offer. So I'm really excited that I have that. The reason that it was long and arduous is because it was taught in the States with people from all over the world. So it was 5 a.m. starts a few mornings a week for months, which was interesting. A lot of assignments and all that kind of thing. Anyway, loads and loads of fun. And I really, really enjoyed it. And we got buddied up, and my buddy was from Hungary, which was really cool. The other thing is that there's no I in team. So I have an amazing team behind the scenes, and really helped me to improve my processes, improve my offerings, help with our clients. There's just so many different ways that without them, I would be absolutely floundering. And I wouldn't have been able to grow Hello Media and help as many people as I have been without their amazingness in there. So if you have not expanded your team or haven't reached out and found ways to outsource some of what you're doing, definitely think about that, because it's really tough in business on your own when you're literally wearing all of the hats. I really believe it's important to understand before you outsource, because otherwise you could just hand over the job to someone else and you don't even know what's going on. So it's important, first of all, the upskill. Secondly, that you then hand it over. And this final thing over here on the right, which says support a woman-owned business today. So at the end of last year, Positive Passionate Businesswoman, that I have been running for quite some time, we are online meetups monthly and all kinds of other lovely things that go on. But at the end of last year, we also launched a directory online, so that means anybody that wants to support women in business can go to that directory and find someone for the thing that they're looking for. So you guys, if you are a women-led business and you would like to be included on that up until September the 3rd, so there's only 2 more, or just under 2 more weeks left to go, we're offering that base level membership for free. So free for 12 months. So if you want to jump on that, we'll give you all of the details in the chat, and you can jump on, grab yourself or set up your listing, and yeah, get really visible online. My favorite bit about it is there's a whole bit of little SEO secret sauce going on, which is backlinks from that website, from that directory to your website, and from your website back again. So really amazing. So let me talk to you now, because the wonderful Ethel has put this page in so I could share it with you. So something that I do, and I was just doing that at 11:30 this morning with my friend and business colleague, Jenny Walk. Her company is Elephant in the Room Consulting. And we're both business coaches, but we specialize in very different areas. So what we do, and we've been doing it for a couple of years now. So we jump on Zoom together and we go live. So in advance, we've already planned our topics and our subtopics that we want to cover during the time. And so let's start over here with the jump on a Zoom call and go live on the custom live streaming service, which is this one here at Switchboard. And through that, we can go live onto our various Facebook pages, into my Facebook group, onto my Facebook personal, and also to YouTube. From that, we then download the recording of from Zoom. We have in advance, we have edited the video in CapCut and created a intro and an outro so that we can then add that on. And then what we'll use, sometimes we use Filmora, sometimes Canva, we then put it in all together inside Canva, for example, and then we will download that edited video and audio. The audio part then goes up into this platform called Spotify for podcasters. Used to be called Anchor, but Spotify bought it out. And then it also gets, so then it gets distributed to all the different places as a podcast. We then also upload it to YouTube and put our caption in there, the title, all the different bits and pieces that will help it get found on YouTube. After that, and this is the bit that's really important for you guys, is that we then transcribe that recording using Otter. So Otter will give you not only the voice, but it will also give you the transcription. So it's the words, that's what we're looking for. We then copy and paste that into the back end of our website as a new blog, completely edit it so that we just have a good 2 to 3 paragraphs of really succinct covering what it was that we were talking about in that bite-size live video podcast. From that blog, we then create graphics, videos, reels, post to socials, and we add an excerpt in our newsletter. But what I want to point out here is with the blog part. So our website's using Shopify, maybe you've got WordPress or Wix or whatever platform it is that you're using. What's so important to me is that we've put keywords in that blog post. So when people are searching for a topic that they want an answer on, my blog can help them out. But on top of that, from that blog post, we can do so many things. So when I talk about creating graphics, videos, reels, etc., when we do that in Instagram, if we share it into our stories, we can use a link and refer back to that blog post. When we're doing a post on Facebook, we can put the link to the blog post in the comments. If we're doing a post on Pinterest, we can do a link in that back to that blog post. And on that blog post, we've embedded the YouTube video and also the podcast as well. So when you're on that blog post, let's just say that you found it by Googling because you wanted an answer to something. And then inside that, you can actually watch the YouTube recording of it or listen to it as a podcast directly within that blog. Now, maybe you're not interested in doing any of that other stuff, but this blog that you've written, if you can then create all these other socials out of it and then link people to your website. Oh, I forgot to mention also the newsletter. So put a little excerpt of your blog in your newsletter and then get that linking back to your website too. Because what we're always trying to do in our businesses and what we should always be focused on is driving traffic to our website. Our website is like at the very, very basic version of it. This is a website would be our business card, for example. So we need to make sure that it looks glorious and absolutely reflects who we are, what we do, and how we help people, so that when people arrive on our site, before they've even scrolled, within 3 seconds, they have recognized that, yes, I'm in the right place, I'm where I want to be, and now I'm going to go off and explore what these offerings or what these products are. So that's really important. And thank you, Barbara. So let's now say that the website's perfect. The landing page for that blog post is absolutely spot on. So then everything we do, so those Instagram posts that are related to it, the Pinterest, I should change that Twitter icon, shouldn't I? Because it is now X. So maybe your X post needs to link to your website, the newsletter, except whatever it is, it all needs to be working on driving traffic to your website. So keep in mind too that on Instagram, you can't put a link, or you shouldn't put a link in the post, because it's irrelevant, because the link doesn't work. There's no live links in an Instagram post. But you can definitely put it in stories, because on stories, you can add a sticker link, which is great. But on your post, you can say link in bio. And in your bio, you can put your blog post or latest blog post link in that. So really, really, really important to think constantly about, how am I driving people to my website so then I can get them to convert? Now, that could be convert into a buying customer, could be into booking a discovery chat with you. It could be to downloading a free ebook, or it could be literally to sign up to your newsletter list. Whatever it is, you want to get conversions on your website. So you need to drive that traffic to your website. So that was a lot of chat about this one thing, but I'm all about the repurposing. And I think visually, if you can see that, create that blog, and then you repurpose it in all these ways, and it's going to really help you drive that traffic to your website. So here is my little version here. So another thing that drives traffic to your website is your story. So we will very soon be doing a Flourish workshop that's all about your superpower statement. But for now, I want you to think about creating a very small version of your own story and then expanding it into a blog post, making it smaller and turning it into an Instagram bio, for example. There's so many different ways that you will repurpose your story. But I really encourage you to do, perhaps as a challenge today, will be to go and write your story as a blog post. So you might want to start with how you began, what inspired you to do what you do today, how you have evolved. Maybe you started off being the fry girl at McDonald's and flipping burgers or something, and you're sitting there thinking, what do I really want to do? I want to make amazing aprons. And off you went and explored how to be a sewer and how to get your aprons into shops or whatever it is. I don't know. I just made that up. But think about, it's fascinating to people, your story. So make sure you think about how you can share that story. So this here is just a really short summary. I've got an even shorter summary as my Instagram bio, but then I've got a very expanded, like really, really expanded version on my website. But I put it out to you there as a challenge to write a blog post today that's about your story and how you became to be doing how you came to be doing what you're doing right now. So it's not should we work on our digital marketing, but rather how well are we working our digital marketing? And just in case you're not sure, digital marketing is everything about how you are seen online. So it's your website, it's your socials, it's your newsletters, it's everything where people see you online. So successful SEO is not about tricking Google. It's about partnering with Google to provide the best search results for Google users. So when we think about your blog posts and what it is that they're there to teach people or to guide people maybe to somewhere else, maybe your blog post is all about a new product and the reason that it is the best possible thing for people. And then it could link, of course, to your actual product for them to buy it. Or maybe it wants to link to where they could sign up to be the first person to find out that it's available when it launches. So I want you to think about, though, when you want people to be finding that blog post or that product, how is it that what are the type of words that they would put in? Because so many people make this mistake where they write for themselves and they forget about writing for Google, and they forget about that end user, that customer who's out there searching for literally something just like what you're offering, but you haven't used the keywords that they're using when they type into Google. So also think about what you're putting into Google yourself when you go looking for something. So what you're going to learn about today is 5 ways that your blog post can get you visible online so that you can shine. Topic number 2 is how blogging can improve your SEO, which is search engine optimization. And then 7 top tips and best practices for blog writing. And it's meant to say there plus bonuses because I just inserted a bonus in there today, which is all about AI and blogging. The reason for that is because I have some little situations where people come to me and say, I was so behind on my blogging, and then I just discovered ChatGPT. I was so excited how quickly it could write blog posts for me. So I literally in the last week loaded up 20 new blog posts on my website. And now my whole search has just tanked. Nobody can find me. It feels like I've been blacklisted. What could possibly have happened? What could go wrong? And the thing that you need to remember is that Google bots go out there searching for other bots, and then they don't like it if your content appears like spam. And spam content can very much be seen as something that comes directly from being written from a bot. So you will tank. It will be challenging for you to find your way through that blog post to get to #1 spot, or even onto that first page. So that's why we're going to talk about AI and your blogs, and how you can actually use it to help you write your blogs without getting it to write your blog. So I've got some cool tips to share, and I've got a real life example of that, which I'm looking forward to showing you. So also remember that Google only loves you when everyone else loves you first. So that means that you're going to really rank much higher in the search engine results when Google sees, or that algorithms see, that people are arriving on your site and they're not bouncing straight off, that they're actually getting there, and they're there because what they see is exactly what they're looking for. So it's really important to remember that you can use keywords that you think are going to help you get traffic to your site, but they're not actually super relevant for your offerings. And I see this happening a lot with people. And so what will happen is, yes, you will get that traffic, but then that traffic will bounce straight away because it wasn't what they were actually looking for. So it's really important that you think about getting really good quality traffic. So that's why using an excerpt of your blog as a social media post or in your newsletter, and really enticing people with a short paragraph of what that blog post is about. Maybe it's the first couple of sentences of the blog post, and then click here to read more. Boom, take them over to your website to finish reading the blog, and then they'll love it. That's really, really good quality traffic. And Google's timing how long those people are spending on your site. Now, how about you get to the bottom of the site, of the blog post, and then you suggest that they go and read the next blog post, and then the next blog post, and then there's another enticing topic and another enticing topic. Maybe it might even be to go and buy that product or book that service or sign up to the email list so you can be first to hear when a new blog post comes out. Whatever it is such a great way to keep people on your site, keep them circulating around it, and Google's noticing how long your people are spending on your site. So that's a really, really important thing to think about. What are you doing that makes Google take notice and go, oh, this is a really worthy site. I'm going to really boost this one up in the search engine results pages, which is the SERPs, SERPs. So 5 ways your blog posts can get you visible online so that you can shine. And in fact, today, we just launched a new offering, which I'll tell you about a little bit later. I'm very, very excited about it. And it's literally called the Shine Online Hub. And it's a membership. It's a bargain price. It's $89 a month. And well, I'll be telling you about it a little bit later. But if you want to explore it, we could give you a link in the chat. And but yeah, we're going to cover all kinds of different things in that, including Canva new things and ChatGPT new things. So there's a component once a month that's live where you learn about well, it's a learning session, and then there's another one per month that's live that's all about it's called Ask Me Anything. So I jump in there and you just bring your questions to me. So I'm very, very excited about Shine Online Hub. So first of all, what is a blog post? So it's short for weblog, and it's an online journal or informational website that offers regularly updated content about a certain topic. One of the things I've noticed that some people think that a blog post should be separate to what they're doing on their website, and that they want to link outside away from their website to get people to read the blogs, or that they think people will find the blogs on a blog site and then link over back to your website. We definitely don't want to do that. We want it all within the same one place. So make sure within the back end of your website, you find, is my website capable of adding a blog section? If it is, yay, get on that and do it. If it's not, just then add pages and call it your blog post. because it's so important that it is within your business, within your website, because your blogs will be driving all this traffic to your site, and you want to make it sure that it's to your actual site and not to someone else's site or some other platform. So that's probably the first thing to be super aware of. The next thing is that blogs can publish new posts for every few days, weeks, months, however often you want to. But the aim really is to be consistent as you possibly can. So I feel super proud of the Bite Size blog, because that's what I said, that's religiously consistent every single week. The Hello Media blog, on the other hand, which is this one here, that's not as consistent, but I really do aim for monthly. So blog posts that specifically use a variety of on-page SEO tactics, so search engine optimization, can give you so many more opportunities to rank in those search engine results and get customers to visit your site. So it's absolutely a no-brainer that you need a blog post. So what do you think about you being able to get more leads? Like Ash just mentioned in the chat before that she did some Facebook posts and boom, straight away, she got new customers signing up. So blog posts is the same thing. If you are putting stuff out there, you are going to attract the right people to you if you're doing it the right way. So if you want to get more leads, a steady flow of website traffic, stronger customer relationships, and much higher revenue than what you're getting right now, if that sounds super appealing to you, then you definitely need to create a blog post. So I totally get it. We all are busy, feeling a little stretched. We've got it all going on. Many of us are wearing all of the hats. Luckily for me, not right now, because I've got a fabulous team behind me, but some of you will be doing it all on your own, which I know can be really challenging. And you're like, yes, I know I need to write a blog, but I just don't have the time right now. But if you make sure that you schedule time once a month to sit down and really get stuck into creating that blog post, then I can assure you it's actually going to save you time, because you will then be able to create all these social posts out of it. You will then have content for your newsletter, etc. So writing the blog is a really good place to start, because then it gives you so many opportunities for other ways of getting visible. It's going to get you more web traffic. It's going to get you better brand trust, and definitely showing you as the thought leader in your industry, better quality leads, and way better engaged customers. They're able to find you and know what you're all about and how you can help them. So definitely blogging needs to be part of your digital marketing strategy. And if you're not doing it and your competitors are, then you'll honestly, all those leads and all those opportunities, that's all going to your competitors. It's not coming to you. So let's take a little look at some of these. So firstly, blogging is free. How good is that? All it does is take time. So it's absolutely necessary for all businesses, no matter what your size. 81% of businesses believe that their blog is a vital asset to their business. The next one is that blogging drives traffic to your website, and it can convert that traffic into a repeat customer. So when someone does some Googling, so that is looking for information online, it could be your webpage that they're finding, that they land on. It's your blog that gives them the information that they're looking for. So your blog can give people great ideas, some really good tips. It can tell them all about a product or some really good service offerings in there. Whatever it is that customers want to read, we want it to be your website that they're finding. So that means that the traffic to your website is going to increase, the time spent reading those blog posts increases, and then your end goal is that you'll turn to the person who was just looking for information, you'll turn them into a repeat customer, and that's what we want to aim for. Also, great traffic equals higher ranking search titles. Search results, I talked about that a little bit before, that if you're getting really good traffic and they're not bouncing straight off your website, then it's telling Google that you need to be ranked higher in the search engine's results page. And number 4 is show your face. So you have a much higher chance of turning a reader into a customer or a client when they learn who is the person behind what it is that you do. They like to know that you're a real person, not just a bot, especially these days with so much AI going on out there. So you want to show your face and write with your brand's voice, stick with your vibe, and then interact with people. So you want to turn a reader of your blog into a member of your tribe. So maybe at the bottom of the blog, lead them over to your Facebook group or drive them to your Instagram post, whatever it is that's going to get them following you and being part of what you're offering in other platforms. Now, even though I said to interact with people on your blog, I just want to say something about comments on your blog. So I don't have comments on my blog. I have that turned off. The only reason being that I just really see a whole lot of spam stuff going on. And with my previous business, which was an e-commerce business, and it was all based at children and babies products. So I used to get a lot of spam stuff on there, particularly around Viagra. And I just felt it was not really the ideal one for that particular business. Then, unfortunately, somehow I got a whole bunch of porn stuff being linked on there. And I was like, this is not what I want for this website at all. So, not saying there's anything wrong with those things, but for my website at that point, it was 100% not the right thing that I wanted. So, I needed to be really careful. So, I just strategically went, comments are gone. And it was a real shame because there was a lot of people love to get into a bit of a comment banter going on. And it was really, I'd write a whole article about cloth versus disposable, but just gave lots of facts and things, and people would get some really good chat going on. So I turned it off, and I've stuck with that theory ever since. However, I have a niece who's a volunteer at one of the local cat shelters, and she writes their blog posts, and she has the comments open, and it's really lovely to see when people get into a little bit of chat about that. So I think that if you can moderate the comments, or maybe you want to approve the comments before you let them go out there, then that could be a great thing. For me, I made the decision not to, but you might decide it is the right thing for your business. So it's totally up to you. You can have the control over what gets posted as a comment or what doesn't. And then the last one is show your expertise, because people Google for a reason. Maybe they've got a question that they want answered, or a problem that they want solved, or a product that they're looking for the product, but you're selling that product. So by sharing your knowledge and shedding light on their questions and concerns, then you're showcasing your expertise in the field. So it's a super good idea for that. The final ones are find out how your blog posts are doing. Don't just write them and then leave them. You absolutely need to go into your analytics and look at, are these blog posts really driving the traffic that I want them to be? And I'm going to show you a whole bunch of examples of that soon. Because if you don't know, then how can you decide what you're next going to be posting about? The next one is get your social on. So get traffic to your blog. Absolutely, you need to be doing social posts about your blog posts. It's a great way to get the traffic to your website and reading the blog. You could also say, put some posts out there saying, I'm just about to start preparing my next 3 months worth of blog posts. What would you like to see us blogging on? Is there a particular topic you really want to know about? The next one is one of the best SEO strategies. So if you've executed your strategy right, then blogs will absolutely guarantee positive results. So search engine optimization, SEO, is really time consuming. We all know that. It takes a lot of skill and dedication to really promote your website. So we need your pages, whether it's a product page, a service page, an information page, or a blog page, to be packed full of value, and it can really bring you some great long-term results. And I can't think of a better way other than blogging for that long-term result thing to be really the highlight here, and I'll show you that soon. And then the last one I've got here is PR opportunities. So if you've got a good, well-established business blog, it'll spark the attention of journalists that are looking to interview industry experts and also include quotes in their articles. So whenever you see one of my presentations and there's quotes in there, and I always refer to, where I've got it from and who said the quote, you can be guaranteeing they're pretty much always from a blog post that I've found. So you absolutely want to be impressing the people that are finding your blogs. So make sure that your blogs look good as well. And you'll get some really good exposure through some free press. So let's talk a little bit now about how they can help you get visible online so that you can shine. So firstly, increased web traffic. So you're going to attract more people to your business. So many studies out there have shown that businesses see a proportional increase in blog traffic from the number of blog posts that they publish. So once you reach 21 to 54 posts, you can see your traffic go up by as much as 30%. So definitely get on that. Don't just try and do one blog post a year. You definitely want to be aiming for way more than that. As I said, weekly for me is good. Monthly for you, if that's all you can manage, that's so fine, but certainly not once a year. So you want to keep publishing high quality posts and you'll keep increasing your web traffic. So companies that have a blog get almost double the links to their websites. And the number of domains linking back to a page is one of the most important ranking factors that Google uses when ranking your page. So remember at the very beginning when I welcomed you in and I said, please jump into the chat, let people know who you are, what you do, how you help people, and how they can connect with you on your socials, etc. And I said, you never know who you might meet in here that you could collaborate with. Well, here's my little challenge out to you guys, is that there might be someone in here that you could offer to write a guest blog post for, and then they might write one back for you. So those of you that have put your details into the chat and said who you are, what you do, and how you help people, I already noticed that Ash responded to Michael and said, Michael, that sounds amazing. What books, please? Now, Ash could take that little moment of little chat in there, send him a little private message and say, Michael, would you be interested in writing a blog post for my website? And he might be so intrigued, find out more about what Ash does, and then say, Ash, I'd really like you to do the same for me. Or maybe you could be a guest on each other's, on Instagram Live or whatever it is. So if you find someone that you want to connect with, I know it's hard to always be writing your own blog posts all the time when you're just feeling time poor or creativity stretched or something. So why not get someone to write a guest blog post for you? Of course, it then links back to their site, which is magic SEO backlinks for them. So when you optimize your blog post for the keywords that your audience is using when they search online, then your website's more likely to appear on the first page of search results. And this is so critical. So 75% of searches don't even go past the first page of search results. I want you guys to tell me in the chat, how many pages do you go through when you're searching for something? Do you stop at page 1 or do you go to sometimes to page 2? Do you ever go to page 5 or page 6? I don't know about you guys, but I pretty much never go past page 1. Some of you might though, so let me know in the chat. So every time that your target buyers can't easily find your website when they're searching for a solution that your business can provide, then you're losing the opportunity to generate a lead or convert a customer, which is a bummer. Me too, Barbara, normally stop at page 1. It's only if I know that I haven't done my search term correctly. And then I might go to page 2 or even page 3, or usually what I would do is rewrite my search because it hasn't produced the results that I need. Jeff says some websites are so convoluted that it takes time to get info. Yes, you're right. Georgina says up to page 3. Yeah, Richard, me too, 99% of the time, first page only. And Charmaine says, when I'm researching, I will exhaust pages, but I often find it just repeats the same. Yep, you're right. One thing that annoys me about blog posts is when people don't have them dated, particularly for me when I'm looking for latest stats and facts and figures and things. And so I want to include what they've found in this amazing blog post and reference them and stuff, but I'm not going to do that if there's no date, because it literally could be 2013 and that's not going to be relevant for me at all. So it's not a must that you put a date on it, but for me, for example, I find that super, super, super helpful. Okay, so let's take a little look at this one as an example. So I've done an incognito search, and you can tell that because it says up here on the top right, incognito. If you're not sure how to do an incognito search, click on the 3 dots here and choose incognito window, new incognito window. So the reason that I do that is I want to test how things are going. And if I only use my own browser, then absolutely it won't be showing me real results. It'll be showing results based on what Google knows that I always search for. So there's this blog post here, and I was just wanting to show you how it's performing, because this blog post, I think it's at least 3 years ago that we created this blog post for this client, and it has been the top performer endlessly. I'm going to show you some more examples of that soon. But here you go. I've Googled here funny alternatives to using the word period. And what is the first blog that goes up? This one here. 15 funny and unusual alternatives for saying I've got my period. This blog post is a hugely massive performer for these guys. You'll see it was first dated 10th September 2021. So we can refresh that blog post and put it back up again, just exactly the same one. So we're not losing its rankings, just redating it. So we'll talk a bit more about that soon as well. So with your blog, you're going to attract more people to your business. And so many studies show that you should not let your blog just disappear. And let's just say it's 2018 and you had this amazing blog post, but 2018, it's going to be buried so far back and amongst your blog. So you absolutely need to refresh it. It might be that you want to reword the first paragraph. Maybe you want to link a couple more other blog posts to it in the end. Whatever it is that you want to do to refresh it, then make sure that you put a new date on it. Redate it as of today. And then it's still everything the same in terms of how it's ranking, or maybe you just want to add a new keyword to it, but then put it out there again and redate it. It's a beautiful way to keep blog posts being fresh. So this one here, I want to show you more about it. Unfortunately, I couldn't get today's updated stuff because we've got a little Shopify issue going on at the moment. But what I can show you is that the last time I did a screenshot of it, you can see that their top blog post is 15 funny words to say to you, to say when you're on your period without actually saying the word period. So it's had total visitors of 2,668, which is more than double where their second blog post is in terms of performance. So it's an absolute winner. And like I said, it's like literally from a couple of years ago. So that's awesome. You definitely want to think about those really high performing blog posts. How can you keep people still coming to them and them not looking old? And also, what about then me creating new content around that blog post? I don't want to create content and have them driven over to a blog post that's 2 years old. I want to have them driven to a blog post that looks fresh and new. Jeff says, what about publishing other businesses' newsletters or blogs and reposting? Yes, but remember that Google will penalize you for duplicate content. So if you just take their blog post, put it on your blog post, and then link it to them, then you will be penalized. So make sure that you do a really nice version of it and say, this is an excerpt from blah, blah, blah. And then maybe even a little summary about it so that you're not necessarily just going copy paste of the whole blog post. You might even want to put 2/3 of it in there and then say, head over to their website and find the rest of the blog post perhaps. So you've got a bit of nice little, back and forth going on there. So let's talk about building trust. So your blog positions you and your brand as an expert and confident thought leader in your industry. So brand trust is just so incredibly important. So when you publish blog posts, you're establishing your brand as an authority in your industry. So it positions your brand and helps people understand that you have expertise in your area and that you're a confident thought leader. So authenticity is one of the top qualities that attract them to a brand. So B2B businesses, which is B2B, business to business, a blog is just as important as it is for B2C brands. So 35% of B2B buyers spend up to 3 hours per week reviewing thought leadership content. Now, I cannot recommend highly enough that if you post on your LinkedIn profile about different blogs that you've found, that is such a powerful thing to do. For example, Ash today could post about Michael's, a blog of Michael's that she's seen that maybe sums up one of his books or is an excerpt from one of his books. So that would be a really powerful thing to do because it shows that Ash is researching things and wanting to share more about other people, which is beautiful. That's about being an abundant person rather than just only ever trying to promote yourself. So that's a really, really good idea, but it also shows that she is constantly researching, upskilling, reviewing content, etc. So I really highly recommend that you do that on your LinkedIn profile. So Seth Godin, let me know is with a yes or a no in the chat. Has anybody heard of Seth Godin? Yes, says Kate. Yep, says Jane. Good. So he's a great example of thought leadership in action. He's a top marketer And his blog is a go-to for reading for people in advertising or all kinds of different creative areas, and people who just want to think a little bit more about life with some introspection. So I really highly recommend taking a look at some of what he does. He's a really prolific author of books like Purple Cow, Transform Your Business by Being Remarkable, and also This is Marketing You Can't Be Seen Until You Learn to See, where he weaves marketing advice into his blog posts, but many of the themes are applicable to life in general. So I find him really interesting and fascinating. So his blog posts are short and easily readable, and they're daily blogs. Now, that might just completely freak you out, but hold on with me for a moment. So the daily blogs are guaranteed to make you think about life and business in a new way. So because they're so short, they're really easily digestible. Bite-sized, you might like to say. So the takeaway from that is that your blog needs to be about your area of expertise, but that doesn't mean that you can't convey larger or deeper lessons about life and offer nuggets of wisdom that go beyond your particular industry, like what Seth Godin does. So your posts also don't need to be long. So something that people say to me all the time is that I just haven't got the time because blog posts need to be at least 800 words. Well, that is simply not true. So yes, if you Google what is an optimum length for a blog post, it might say 800 words. However, it sort of reminds me like when my daughter was doing her HSC, or even now that she's at uni, it's actually the same thing. So she'll say, oh, I've almost finished. I've got another 200 words to write though before I can submit it, but I've said everything I need to say. And that kind of thing just drives me insane, because why should we expand something when we've actually said it exactly how we need to, as succinctly as we possibly can? Just adding another 200 words onto it because someone said it needs to be 1,000 words or 8,000 words or whatever it is seems crazy to me. And I feel the same way about blogging. So if you only want to do 2 paragraphs in your blog, so be it. As long as you're making sure you've got some really great keywords, so that, and key phrases, I mean by that, so that, or long tail keywords is probably an even better way of saying it, but so that people that are looking for what it is that you've written about, they can find you. That is the key here, not that you've just kept adding and adding and adding on to it to get to that magic number of words. So I really, truly believe make it as long or as short as you want it to be. So let's take a little look at some of Seth Godin, just as a little example. So most of his posts take less than 5 minutes to read, and his audience is probably even more devoted to him because of that, because they're not long posts. So this one here is talking about money. Who benefits when we hesitate to look at money clearly? When we avoid doing a P&L, so profit and loss, thinking about pricing or creating a budget, we're avoiding the fear that comes with these choices. And we're also decreasing our odds of success. Good cooks talk about salt. Successful athletes talk about training. Money isn't the point, but talking about money enables you to find your footing and clarify your direction. And then he says, semi-unrelated, all tangentially about talking about money. Sorry, tangentially talking about money. A handful of new books from friends and colleagues I'm happy to recommend. Boom, that's it. He's got all these beautiful backlinks to these other people and a little one-line summary of what they're about. How quick, short, simple, and succinct was that? And it really, when you think about it, how he said everything he needed to say. He linked outwards. Those people might do a big thanks and link back to his blog post. So that's a lovely little reciprocal backlink going on there. So I love it. So for that one last bit again, money isn't the point, but talking about money enables you to find your footing and clarify your direction. So I think what's always careful is that he does a really good job of that last sentence. So this one here is called Who Cares? This is the whole blog post, is no one cares. That happens rarely. Someone cares. That happens all the time. And it's at the heart of our work. Everyone cares almost never. And someone is enough. In fact, someone is the entire point. Now, if you're reading that and thinking, oh, hang on, he's all about advertising and marketing and his business, but actually you can make that refer to what you're putting out in business. But also you can put that in terms of your professional life, your personal life, whatever it is. So he's very, very clever with what he does. and how he makes you think. So I really encourage you to take a little look at what he does and think, what do you like about it? What do you think is clever about it? Because maybe you don't want to do daily, but maybe you could do that weekly. And then, of course, these are great social posts as well. So, yeah, absolutely. Don't get caught up on the fact that a blog should be X number of words. A blog can be whatever you want it to be. Just make sure that what you're putting in it and the way that you're crafting those keywords is so that people can find you. Let's take another look of an example of a client that we write blogs for. So this one here is how to use lemon myrtle in cooking. What is the difference between lemon myrtle and lemon verbena? 5 amazing benefits of lemon myrtle. Let's look at some of them that didn't perform well. Why you should check if your insect repellent is APVMA approved. Why do you think that might be? Because people don't really understand what it is that they should have there. What probably we could rename it to is, what nasties are in your insect repellent that you're spraying on your body? Or do you get a reaction from your insect repellent? And, so there's lots of different ways that we can do that. However, on the other hand, it might just be that it hasn't performed well because we haven't done enough content driving traffic to that particular blog. So we could pick up that blog, take a look at it, edit that blog, redate that blog, and then out it goes again. There's lots of different ways to look at it. So yes, it could be it doesn't have the right keywords, or we're not written the keywords in the ways that people are searching for, or it could be we just haven't tried hard enough to drive more traffic to that site. So there's lots of different ways. This one here, recycle your leftover soaps with these simple steps to save you money from buying again. So this topic of this blog post, we actually created this one at least a couple of years ago, and we repurpose it regularly because when we create reels from it and all that kind of stuff, oh my goodness, it performs so well. People love this topic. So we know wherever it is in terms of its performance, it's just going to keep performing again and again, which is super awesome. So let's look at quality leads, or getting better quality leads. So content marketing produces 3 times more leads than paid search. So when your business uses a blog to reach your customers, you'll also be able to generate much better high quality leads. So why is that? Well, it's because when people, I was going to say users, but really it's just people, are searching online for a solution to their problem. And then if your blog is give the answer that they need, then you're absolutely winning. And this is why blogging is so incredibly important for your business. So you're going to be adding value to someone's life or helping them solve a problem, then you are also building trust. You've already shown the visitor that your business is the answer to their need with your helpful, relevant, high-quality blog post. And as a result, they're more likely to trust your brand and take the next step on the customer journey funnel. So it's a completely different process than when we compare it to, for example, to paid ads. So Google ads. So with that, we're bringing traffic to your website because you're running a campaign for an ad and you're spending a lot of money. But you still got work to do in terms of rejigging that ad, because you can't just put an ad out there and put money on it and think it's going to work. You've got to constantly be looking at it and how do you need to fix it, et cetera, or improve it for your better bang for your buck. On the other hand, blogging is actually going to bring in more qualified leads. It's going to generate way more leads than what the ad might do if you're not even trying really hard to keep redoing the ad. So content marketing produces 3 times more leads than what paid search does. So really, really important for you to think about that. And what topics can you be doing for your blog post? Let's take a little look at this as an example for a client. So this one here is the top blog post was 5 fun activities to do with your dog this autumn. Well, you can be sure that once we've moved on from that time of year, it's not going to be the top blog post anymore, is it? We've got fun things to do on my pup's birthday. We've got 5 ways to celebrate your dog's birthday. We've also got 5 ways to improve your dog's dental health. So again, we can look at that one and go, what do we want to do to edit that blog and make it perform better? Maybe we need to do some more social posts around it, or maybe we need to change those long tail keywords that we're putting in there. Maybe what people are looking for is, my dog's got stinky breath. What can I do? and literally put in that line, and then boom, you've got the answer. And then, of course, some of the products that they sell will be the solution to their problem. Or we've got down here the bottom one, 5 fun, extravagant, unique ways to celebrate your dog on their birthday. So actually one part of their business that is hugely successful is doing dog parties in Sydney. And people will spend endless amounts to celebrate their dogs with these incredible parties. So this blog post should be performing way, way, way better than it does. So all I know is we've got to jump in there, check out the keywords, do a bit of rejigging. So don't just create a blog post and then set it and forget it. Always jump into these analytics and see how it's performing. Okay, let's talk about engaged customers. So the biggest benefit of blogging for your business is engagement. And if you're not able to keep your customer interested and your brand top of mind, then you're going to be losing ground with your customer base. So you want to attract target buyers with your blog post. Then the blog posts really need to resonate with them. And then your blog will be certainly different to what your competitors are putting out. So don't look too much at what your competitors are doing. So I want you to think about what keywords would be being used by people who are looking for exactly what it is that you're offering. And then you can gain organic traffic by optimizing your keywords, your content around those keywords. Let's look at another example. So this one here is some of mine. So this top one is, it's easy to find out what font a website uses or what platform a site is built on. Now that's a massive performer for me. And in fact, this is a screenshot from ages ago, because like I said, I could not log into the back end of Shopify in my developer's account at all for a week. It's been infuriating. So, but this one here is a massive, massive performer for me, because people are Googling, how do I find out what font is being used on a website? Or how do I find out what platform this website is built on? Because I know it's a massive topic, because people ask me all the time. So it's a very simple blog post that I've created. It just shows you some extensions and things like that that you can put on your site to look at what it's all about. So, or how to find out. So I know that this one is going to perform over and over and over. But then this other one that performs really well for me on repeat is 4 reasons why you shouldn't delete your old Instagram posts before you got your branding style just right. Now, I rejig that one from time to time, because people are constantly looking at changing my business or changing my branding. Should I delete my old Instagram posts? And the answer is no. I don't even need you to tell you to read that blog, because it's a definite no. But then I give examples of how you could actually do it if you want to keep that stuff in the past and move forward. And no, that does not mean archiving. Okay, so really important. I can't say it enough. Go and look at analytics. It will really help you know, what should I be blogging on, or what should I be doing more of and doing less of. Okay, let's look on from here. So evergreen content. So pretty much that's what I was talking about in terms of that bite-sized business wheel. So evergreen content is search optimized content that is continually relevant and stays fresh for readers over a long period of time, which is of course what the name implies as evergreen content. So you might think that all online content is sustainable, but it's definitely not. Even though a blog doesn't just disappear after it's published, like, for example, Instagram stories. But evergreen content is really different. So it continues to be relevant way past its publication date, with search traffic growing over time. So some of the kinds of evergreen content that you might want to think about would be doing listicles, tips, how-to kind of content, product reviews, and some videos. So maybe you've got some stuff there that is not timely. Like, for example, you can be sure that some of my blog posts about, for example, threads, then when threads launched, boom, I started writing this blog post all about how to do it. And it just got incredible traffic. But do you think that that blog post is still getting that good traffic? No, because threads dropped by some huge amount after the first couple of weeks when people got in that super frenzied excitement. So that is not going to be evergreen content. But that other blog I gave you the example of about what platform is that website built on, that is going to always keep performing well. So that's the one with that evergreen content that I just want to keep updating and refreshing and making sure that it's going out there, constantly for people to see. So what in your business can be evergreen content? What are those sort of topics? And what are the sort of topics that are just for now ones? And the just for now ones are equally as important. Like for me doing that threads one, as was the posts that I know that are going to perform for years and years on end. So definitely think about what are the things that you can do, and maybe definitely make sure that not all of your stuff is stuff that's going to be time relevant, because then there's no evergreen content, and you want to make sure you've got a really good balance of that. So let's look at how blogging can improve your SEO. So blogging helps boost your SEO quality by positioning your website as a relevant answer to your customers' questions. So blog posts that use a variety of on-page SEO tactics can give you more opportunities to rank in search engines and make your site more appealing to visitors. So how can you optimize that content for the search engines? So understanding who your audience is and what you want them to do when they click on your article will help guide your blog strategy. So buyer personas, or I like to call them customer avatars, are a really, really effective way to target readers using all kinds of things. So their buying behaviors, demographics, psychographics. Without that, then you could be producing grammatically correct and accurate content, but few people will be clicking on it because it doesn't speak to them on the personal level that they need to be reached on. So let's take a little look at what it is. So psychographics is the study of consumers based on their activities, interests, and opinions. So that's AIOs. So it goes beyond classifying people's demographic stuff, which would be age, gender, race, et cetera, So psychographics seeks to understand the cognitive factors that drive people to do what they do and buy what they buy and book what they book. So the things that you want to include in your customer avatars are: what are they interested in? What's their personality type? What are their values? What are their attitudes to certain things? What are their beliefs? And what are their opinions? So every business needs to create these customer avatars because you need to really understand who it is that you're selling to. So remember, that's psychographics rather than demographics. I've got a little page over here that shows you about the demographics, because we used to talk about demographics a lot in business. Now I've moved it to psychographics. So demographics we used to include were age, gender, social status, job, behavior patterns, motivations, goals and demands. Now they might be much, much, much easier for you to build out those customer avatars looking at that. You can go, oh, that's Sally and she's 35 and she's got one kid and she's just gone back to work full time. So she's time poor. So during her lunch break, she'll look on her phone, she'll do some online shopping, and she'll order whatever's easiest from Woolies to get a delivery at home. So if I've got a product that I really want to reach her, then I need to be doing posts at lunchtime. I need to be thinking about blog posts that could be with titles like how to run a type ship at home when you've got limited time, for example. That might be the kind of thing that she's looking at. However, when we go back to here to the psychographic way of building out our customer avatars, we can look at what are Sally's interests. So she wants good quality. She wants to be able to buy with a lot of thought, where there's some really great reviews, etc. So she doesn't really want to be just going down the road of what's convenient, but she's super, super time poor. But she's interested in a farmer's market on the weekend, for example, or taking her family on beautiful walks in the park, go to the playground, etc. Her personality is whatever it is, her values, her attitudes, her beliefs, and her opinions. And maybe I've got to put in there that she values other people's opinions. So it's really important that in my content, I would be sharing a lot of reviews and testimonials, because she's like, oh, okay, I really believe what that person's saying about their product because there's some really amazing reviews being shared about it. So really important for you guys to think about creating these customer avatars so that you know exactly who it is that you're writing to. because so often people are literally writing the blog post for themselves and to themselves because they know what they're interested in with their own business. But you've got to cut that one off, and you've got to really think, what is it that my ideal customer is looking for, and not in the words that I would be looking for it for. So we want to do keyword research. So once you've thought about that target audience and created those buyer personas or customer avatars, then you want to think about what kind of content your readers want to consume, and also how are they going to consume it. So B2C, mostly they'd be looking at it on their phone. So your blog needs to be optimized for mobile. B2B, mostly they'd be looking at it on their webs on a desktop or a laptop. So you need to make sure that it looks really fabulous as a big blown out website. So we want to be thinking about really working on those keywords as your strategy before we even start thinking about the topics. You can expand or you contract your scope of your content strategy or your blog writing strategy once you've done this keyword research. The next one is adding visuals. I cannot say it enough, but a blog post that's really, really long with nothing breaking it up is extremely, extremely boring to look at. And it's a very, very hard read. So here's some screenshots from this blog post, which was called Affirmation Words to Say to Your Kids to Keep Them Feeling Positive. First thing to tell you is that this heading, we use that also as the thumbnail for the blog video post that we use. So that's super awesome because we're repurposing content, right? We can also use it as the graphic in the newsletter that people then can click through to read the rest of the blog. You'll notice that I purposely made it small so you can just see what stands out. So there's a little bit of some pink headings in there, some bold, there's some bullet points, lists, there's some topics. What are affirmations? In here, there's a YouTube video. So like what we do with Bite Size, we also do it for our clients that we write blogs for, where we create blog videos based on their blogs, put them on their YouTube channel, which then brings people back to their sites. And of course, then we can resize it and repurpose it for reels, etc. So this one here, that's the YouTube blog embedded into the website. There's another piece of YouTube content that we've embedded there as well from someone else entirely that just has a really good video that we found, and we thought it'd be great to add into their blog post. Then we've got a whole list of things that you could say to your kids, and then it tells you at the end, these ones here are all stickers. And so if you'd like a set of these stickers that we created for this client, and then they got them printed as little sheets of stickers, then you can say, send us a message and say, yes, please, would love these stickers with your next order. So that's super, super awesome because it gets people doing the next thing after they've read that blog post. They're like, yeah, I really want those stickers for my kid. And the next thing down there, we got related blog post. And there's one here called Talk to Your Boys About Periods. And the other one is End the Stigma, Stop the Shaming. So we're leading them somewhere else within that. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we've got some great images, we've got headings, we've got really good definitions so we can see what it is that we're getting, what we're looking at, but we're not bored by just endless amounts of text. We also want to make sure that we've got links out, links in, etc., etc. So images and video are definitely the most common visual elements that you'll see. But also you want to think about maybe having that video snippet from someone else's YouTube video. You might want to put, or you will want to put really descriptive alt text with every single visual element within your blog. So alt text is a really big factor that determines whether or not your image or your video appears in the search engine's result page, and definitely how highly it's going to appear. So alt text is also really important for screen readers, for visually impaired, and for where it reads out the words to people, so that they have a good positive experience consuming content on your blog site. So I'm going to stop my share for a moment and take you over to look at that blog post. So let's just go stop on this one and share to this new one. And hopefully you guys can all see this blog post. Let me just make it full size. Just give me a little thumbs up, someone, if you can see this. Thanks, Ash. So you'll notice, and this is one of the cool new features I'm loving on Shopify, but see how this is a little GIF, this little heading. So it stands out. Now, keep in mind, just because you can doesn't mean you should. So we don't want to make every single heading a GIF, because imagine if it was like boom, boom, boom on each one. But it's definitely a good idea to make it happen on some, because it will really help them stand out. So next one is, I think it might be on page 2, because I've refreshed this one a couple of times. Or maybe it's on page 3. Yes, it is. It's this one here. June from last year. It's still my favorite one, though. So as we scroll down, I'm just going to stop my share. I realize I've got to reshare with sound on. I just found that it was a client that showed me this new thing about sharing sound. Thank goodness. Can you guys see this now? The same page again, but this time with, can you see this video? Cool. Okay, I'm going to play this for you now. So this is the blog video that's made. So what we do is we take the blog post when we've finished and published it, we put it into the video platform, and we create a video from it. And hopefully you can get...
I'll be the one by your side through the good and the hard times, when we're laughing, when we're hurting. I'll be the one that you need through the love and tragedy, when we're winning, when we're losing. Take my hand, there's a better life ahead. Take my word, with you and me, there's a better life. There's a better life.
Now, go back to...
There's a better life.
Whoa. Okay, notice this. This is just a screenshot that I've put up there of their blog post. So really, really important to show people what it is that they're going to see. And if they were watching this on YouTube, they'd be able to see it straight away in the caption, the link to come over to this blog. But also, then they might go, oh, if they find it on as a blog post, they might go, actually, I'm going to go and find their YouTube channel, because maybe they have other videos that I'd find really useful. So as we're looking at it live, though, I just want you to see there's some topics up here. So kids' anxiety, positive affirmations. We've got some bold text here. We've got a link out to the ABC News. We've got Daily Goal Getter that we've linked to. We've got that other one I was showing you there. All these beautiful positive affirmations. And then this is telling you about other blogs that we've written. So 5 top tips to help your kids embrace body positivity, and an open letter from a mum to her teen daughter about staying true to themselves. And then this is a screenshot of some of the stickers. And then, of course, we've got related blog posts down the bottom. Now, of course, some of those having the lovely GIFs as the covers. So what I want to show you guys about this is that, do you think anywhere in here we talked about period knickers, which is what they sell? No, we didn't. So what's so important about that, and I really want you to think hard about that, is what are you writing about? Is it just about stuff that promotes your business? Is it actually people? Thank you guys for your lovely comments. Is it actually blog posts and blog post topics that will drive traffic to your site, and they may not have even known that they needed what it was that you offer. So see with that, because her clients or customers are, well, basically the products that she makes are only for tweens and teens, not for adults. We don't think, of course, that it's the tweens and teens that are looking for them. It'll be the parents or caregivers that will be shopping for those products. But I want you to really think hard that, or think about this topic, is that if we create content that we know is of concern to parents of this demographic, or to a part of those parents in that demographic, then they get to the website, they read the value-laden blog post with all the information that they need. They might click through to the next blog and then the next blog. And then they think, oh, I just didn't even know that period knickers just for tweens and teens existed. Why would I need one? Why couldn't they buy the other ones at Kmart, etc.? So then they keep going on the website and they keep finding more and more and more content. And boom, next thing, you've just got some new customers. So I really, really can't stress enough about the importance of writing beyond what you think is your topic for you. So I'm going to share my screen again and show you something live to give you some great tips on how to find some awesome content. So I'm just going to do a quick little random search in my people in here and go, I can see Charmaine. So Charmaine has a business called In-House Pilates, and she teaches Pilates mat classes online. Beautiful thing about that, so you can be from anywhere in the world and you can join Charmaine's membership or Charmaine's classes. So hopefully you guys can all see this blank screen. And I'm now going to do a search up here. I could go to incognito, but then I'd have to stop share and reshare again. So I'll just do it without the incognito. So let's do a little search. We could go tips about learning Pilates. Actually, let me change that to, maybe I would be Google searching, what should I know before I start Pilates? So what we're going to see, of course, is some ads, sponsored. So we're going to ignore those, but this is where the magic happens, just right here. 5 things to know before you take a Pilates class. We want this to be Charmaine's blog. Why should it be Body Ethos's blog? It should be In-House Pilates blog. But then the next thing is, we can see people also ask, what should I do before starting Pilates? What do I need to know for my first Pilates class? How do I prepare my body for Pilates? And is Pilates too hard for beginners? Charmaine could note those down and boom, she's got 4 blog topics that she can use straight away, because we want her showing up here. Now, the thing to know is that when people click on this, it automatically gives them some more. And then they click on this and it automatically gives them some more. So you'll notice that we are growing these and getting more and more and more topics as we go. So all of these are absolutely magic. The key to remember is, do not change the order of the words. They are exactly the way that people are searching, and you want to use them in this exact format. So that's a really good little bit of magic right there, like that. But also the other one is just to go up in here. So what should I know before I start Pilates? Pilates before and after. Pilates near me. What to bring to your first Pilates class. How to do Pilates. All of these, Pilates versus yoga, great blog topic. So all of these are literally the way that people are searching, or the way that people are typing in what that is they're looking for. So definitely that's a good place to look, but 100%, this is where you want your blog to show up. And this is how you're going to get ideas for your next blog topic. So I really put that out to you. Challenge number 1 was write a blog post today about your story and what made you do what you're doing and how you do it, etc., etc. Challenge number 2 is to see who in here that you might want to do a collaboration with and ask them to do a guest blog post for or with, or who you might want to offer your blog post for, so that you're getting visible to their audience. And then topic number 3 is jump into Google and do a search under for what you think someone might be using. So does somebody want to do a little example, or want me to do as an example? So if you do, just pop into the chat and say, what do you think that somebody might be searching for when it comes to your business. And then I'll pick one and put it in. Thanks so much, Janine, for your comment. The cool thing about that blog, even though I wrote it like a year ago, is that I can just keep refreshing it and keep creating content for it. And it's so successful that Caro keeps reprinting those stickers all the time because they keep working. Okay, great. Thanks, Barbara. What do you think someone might be searching for computer learning? Let's go have a little look. Improve my computer skills. So we can see improve my IT skills, improve my computer knowledge, how to improve my computer science skills. What can I do to improve my computer skills? How to improve basic computer skills? How can I improve my computer skills for free? So what about what can I do to improve my computer skills? I like that one as a whole. I think that's a good line. And remember, people don't just ever type in computer skills. They always, that's the main keyword, but the long tail keyword is what people are actually searching for, where they're typing out, what can I do to improve my computer skills, not just computer skills. Okay, so let's ignore the sponsored ones and we go down here to how to improve your computer skills. And this is the first blog that's showing up. So 5 free and easy ways to improve your computer skills. Now, you don't necessarily want free in there, right? You want, and I don't necessarily want to only jump in on whatever's free. I want whatever's going to be the best use of my time. So scroll on down and then see what people also ask. So how do you teach older adults computer skills? What is the best skill to learn in computer? What are basic computer literacy skills? And what are the 3 types of computer literacy? I'm not thinking I would ever type that in, but I would be looking for example, what is the best skill to learn in the computer? But I don't think I'd be putting in literacy skills. I couldn't even say it. I feel like often it's your competitors that you would then be attracting, not actually the people that you're trying to attract. Let's look at, Jane's got a good one. Where do I start to declutter my house? And paste. So of course we see the ads, and of course Blimmin' Temu is going to come up. Be very careful, guys, about Temu and not creating an account with Temu. I think I wrote a social post, but I'm actually going to write a blog post about it because if you're concerned about your privacy and all kinds of things like that, then you want to be really careful what kind of accounts you're creating. Anyway, let's have a little look at this one here. We've got the first blog post, which is simple ways to declutter your spaces. Start by removing trash, blah, 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 blah. So this is really easy for people to see. So of course they're going to click on it if it looks right for them. But then the people also ask, where is the best place to start when decluttering? I love that as a topic for you, Jane, for a blog post. I think it's great because often we're so overwhelmed. It just all feels so massive. And what is the first thing to do when decluttering? What is the best room to declutter first? What is the 80-20 rule for decluttering a house? And then if I keep clicking on these and a few more and a few more, you'll notice now I've got more than double. Janine. She said, decluttering your house. My husband just heard you, Kylie, and said, good idea. Excellent. The next webinar you'll be able to attend will be Jane's how to declutter your house without the stress. So now we've got the 90-90 rule for decluttering, 6-month rule, 20-20 rule. Where do I start when I have too much stuff? That's a good topic. How do I stop being overwhelmed by decluttering? How do you know if your house is too cluttered? Jane, I'm pumped for you. Loads of people have said in the comments they need to get in. And it's nearly spring. I'm a big believer in the 1st of September. Everything is, that's when I like to start again with my decluttering project. So yay, you've got a few days left before you pump it for spring. Actually, I think spring is 1st of October. I'm wrong, but I always think September's spring. Okay, so there you can see how simple that is to find some really, really good topics that you can go with. So I hope that has been helpful. Let me know in the chat if you now feel empowered and ready to go and get stuck into checking out your great ideas for your blog posts. Okay, let's go back to here because I have a bunch more that I need to show you. So I've talked about adding visuals, and I showed you with this one live what it is that we've got going on in there. The next one we want to think about is, oh yay, Jane says, look out for my new decluttering blog. Yes. And Barbara says, yes, I feel empowered. Thank you, Kylie. You're so welcome. And Andrea, you are very, very welcome. Thank you. Next one is write a catchy title. So this one is the title of your blog post is the first element the reader will see when they come across your article. And it heavily influences whether they'll click or whether they'll keep scrolling. So absolutely keep that in mind, because without a great title, how do you get the people? So it uses data, it asks a question, or it leads with curiosity to really pique the reader's interest. So the co-schedulers headline analyzer, which is a great little feature if you ever want to have a look at that, they say that the elements of a catchy title include power, emotional, uncommon, and common words. And in the right proportion, these types of words in a blog title will grab your reader's attention and keep them on the page. Yes, Janine, feeling motivated. I love it. Okay, the next one is include an enticing call to action. So the key to a great call to action is that it's relevant to the topic of your existing blog post and it flows naturally with the rest of the content. So whether you're selling a product, offering a newsletter subscription, or maybe you're wanting the reader to consume more of your content, and keep clicking through to other blogs, then you really need an enticing call to action on every blog post that you publish. So call to actions come in all types of different formats. So you can get creative and you can experiment with them. So you could do buttons throughout or buttons at the bottom, click here to read. Maybe you could do it as a hyperlink, just click here words. Maybe widgets. They're the most common form of call to actions is buttons, hyperlinks, and widgets. But also a call to action could be how we embedded that video into Caro's blog post. So obviously we want them to play the video. So you really want to think about what are your call to actions? Where are you placing them within? Because you don't want it just at the bottom, because maybe not everybody makes it to the bottom. And all call to actions will really have a different purpose. So does it need to be bold? Does it need to be visible like a button? Are you wanting them to buy something? Maybe you need to embed the actual product into there. Maybe you want them to easily check out. So maybe you don't want them to go to the product page and then the checkout page. So maybe then if you embedded the product inside that blog post, that would be easier for them. Whatever it is that you want them to do, make sure that the call to action is very, very clear and really, really easy. Yay, Charmaine. Even though I've written a blog about how to start Pilates as a beginner, I'll double check keywords and long tail keywords. I love it. You're welcome. So that is refreshing your blog post, which is so important. In fact, I wrote a blog about why you should refresh your blog post. So we'll share that in the chat in a moment. So a regularly updated blog is gold for your website. So it's fresh content for Google, which is super important. And it shows that you're relevant, that your knowledge and expertise is super impressive on a subject, and it keeps you current. So a regularly updated blog is gold for your website. So firstly, you want to plan your content. So I want you to think about picking a topic and then doing the research just in exactly the way that I just showed you. Make sure you check the facts and always credit those authoritative sources when you're quoting information. I can't say enough the importance of giving credit where credit is due. But don't feel like just because I've said I've done a hyperlink to ABC News and said this is where it's coming from, don't think that that's concerning because people are going to click in and off they go on a whole goose chase in another direction. That may happen with a few people, but on the whole, all it makes them do is go, oh, good, right, okay, so she actually has got credible news source that she's chosen it from, etc. So that's super, super important. So what you can think about is the different types of blog posts that you might want to do when you're thinking about your topic. So think about, do you want to write a blog how to do something, or tips on how to do something, or why you should be doing that? List-based stuff is so important, like listicles. What is a really good one. Pillar pages, and definitely infographics. Next one is writing a cracking good title. So I keep coming back to this one blog post because I really do love it so much, but also it's got lots of good examples in it. So the one for this one was affirmation words to say to your kids to keep them feeling positive. So blog titles are the first part of your blog post that your readers will see, and the part that's responsible for getting them to click through, and then of course reading the rest. So you need to make it engaging, keep it short and sweet, include a keyword, but don't go crazy. Don't oversell, and appeal to emotions. And you notice within that blog post, there was in fact no selling. It was just showing that they really know what they're talking about in this industry of tween and teen girls. So again, on the write an intro and make it captivating. Tell a short story, punch out some surprising stats, show some humor, or share some fun facts if that's relevant to your business. And ask questions. Like on this one, it was about if your kid would, do you think that your kids would love these stickers? It's a great daily reminder, etc., etc. So really they're nice to then click on it and go, join the chat on this Instagram post or whatever. If you're not going to have comments in the bottom, which, as I've already said earlier, I don't, but I'm not saying that you shouldn't. Next one is organize your content in an outline. So readers should not be overwhelmed by the length or amount of your content. So create a list of tips or questions and organize them into related groups, then start prioritizing the most important. So as part of this same blog, I wrote, here are positive affirmations that you can tell your kids every day to help them feeling positive and loved. And it's just a really, really simple list. You might read that and go, I'm going to take a photo of that from using my phone so I can refer back to it, for example. Next one is use bullet points. So it's really good to express the clear benefits. Think of bullet points as mini headlines. So you want to keep your bullets symmetrical, 1 to 2 lines each. Avoid bullet clutter, and don't write paragraphs in bullets. Remember that bullets are not sentences. They're punchy content, more like headlines. Add images or graphics. So remember that the human brain processes visual content a lot faster than text-based content. So that's why adding captivating images can really help boost your engagement. You want to remember that it's so important that you name your photo correctly for better optimization. And you also want to remember to add the alt text to your images. So remember to add a featured image. This is the primary image that can often be found at the top of content pages and articles. Write your conclusion or summary and nail it. So summarize the key points, ask a question, ask readers to share your post, because remember, people don't know what it is that you want them to do. So that call to action is so important. Blogging might seem overwhelming to you, but once you're writing about topics that you're feeling really confident in, then you're going to really honestly find it fun. I want you to have a little look at this. So on here, I was talking about this in the Bite Size Business live video podcast this morning, whoopsie, with Jenny, and how when you're looking at your reviews, it gives you a really good opportunity to think about, A, what are people saying about your business? And B, what do I need to do more of or less of what people are saying? Now, this is one here where this person said, I've been truly impressed with Kylie's holistic media services. And I went, oh, wow, I never thought of that as a keyword, holistic media services. So is that clearly what some people are looking for? So I went and did a deep dive. I found out and I was like, right, that's what I need to be talking about as well. It doesn't mean I'm going to replace anything else that I'm writing about, but it's definitely a good one to look at. Another one, when we go in here, wealth of knowledge. So I never talk about myself as having a wealth of knowledge, but if this has been used and when somebody's written a review, then chances are I should be putting it in my content. So perhaps today for your My Story blog post, go and take a little look at about what people have written about you in blog posts and what can you take from that and put into your blogs. Keep in mind also that you need to be constantly asking for reviews. because particularly reviews that are on Google, that really, really helps drive traffic to your website. So maybe you're looking for computer education near me. Maybe you want to do it in person, maybe you want to do it online, who knows? Or maybe it's just online computer course. So as I'm looking for it, imagine that Jenny had done a review for you about your online computer course. And then in the response to that, always remember you must do a response to each review. You use some of those keywords that you know people are searching for. So we really loved that you enjoyed your online computer course and could learn at your own pace. So make sure that you remember those responses have keywords in them. I cannot say enough how important those responses are. So let's just talk about our bonus today, which is how AI can help. So like I said earlier, I do not ever want people to just jump on a ChatGPT, say, write me a blog post about this, copy and paste and put it in. It is an absolute horror, apart from the fact that they always use US English spelling, but they also use an AI voice. They're not using your voice. So if you don't have the paid version of ChatGPT, so therefore you've been able to set up the new beta testing section of it, which is really getting it to train it and help it understand what you're all about and the way that you want to write. But still, I would not ever just copy and paste a blog post. So I'm going to show you now how I would use it. Before I do, I've just found though that my page has disappeared. Boo-hoo. My page all about, I'm going to actually show it to you guys now because we're going to be doing a little bit of this tomorrow. So this is, hang on, my new, just launched today, my new offering. So check this out. Oops, hope you guys can see my screen. This is the Hello Media website. And while we're here, I'm going to show you where I put my 2 blogs, because you heard me say I actually do 2 blogs. So under here it says blogs. So we've got the Hello Media blog. So we can click on that and take a little look. And you can see all these different topics. So how to optimize your Facebook business page and the nitty gritty of how to name images for SEO. Inclusive marketing is accessible marketing, etc. What is ChatGPT, etc. Says that my last one was June, and there are actually July and August ones sitting there. They're just not quite published yet. So that's my top thing for today. But that's the Hello Media blog. Let's look at these other blogs. So over here, I've got Bite-Sized Business Talks. And we've got, the last one was August 18. So starting a business on a shoestring. Branding 101, a strong brand can make any business stand out from the crowd. Part 2, there's part 1. Building a strong brand as an entrepreneur, why you need to be on Threads, etc., etc., etc. So when we click on these, you will see that they have the information in here, and that you can see it's all broken down, the heading A, B, C, and then, oh, here we go. If you click on play, that is the podcast version of it, or you can click on play here and it's the YouTube version of it. So I really highly recommend to think about what could you do that goes beyond just writing the blog. Could you do the blog video, for example, which is a great idea. But let me go back to here and show you our new offering. It's the Shine Online Hub monthly membership. Very, very first day of launch is, well, the launch day is today. We're about to put it out on our socials and everything this afternoon. It's very exciting. But what I want to tell you about is that tomorrow is our very first session. It's 8 a.m. So we're doing 2 live sessions a month. Excuse me. One of them is an Ask Me Anything, and you can come in with any issue or problem or question that you've got. The other one, thank you, Charmaine. The other one per month is Learn Online, and it's tomorrow, 8 a.m. is Learn Online. And tomorrow, the topic is looking at SEO and how you can come in and, or basically what you need to do. If you can't make it at 8 a.m., that's fine, because once you bought this membership, it's $89 a month. Once you've bought it, you then get invited into the Facebook group, and that's where we'll be sharing all of the resources. So once a month, you get an Ask Me Anything live session. Once a month, you get to learn something online. So that could be how to do new things in AI, how to do Canva, et cetera, et cetera. You also get once a month an instructional video that you can keep about how to do things like set up or schedule in Meta Business Suite, for example, or how to create your own YouTube or podcast show. And then the fourth and final one, so there's something every week. The fourth one is a challenge resource that you can keep and action. So it's a how-to guide or a checklist or an audit, and then it's got a challenge in it for you to finish included in it. So it's a super, super bargain price, a great way to get involved and get some accountability and get some visibility going on for yourself every single month. So I'm going to share the link here if you want to jump in on that. And remember, it's 8 a.m. tomorrow is our very first one. And we're going to be looking at keywords, long tail keywords, how to really get stuck into researching them, where to put them once you've got them. And then we're going to be looking at alt text and all that other really good stuff. So if you want to jump in on that, you can. And you just got to click that little link for jump in. Okay, so I'm going to stop my share that and go to my new share because we're going to talk about this AI. And I know we've got 10 minutes left, so I'm just going to talk super, super, super fast. So let's hope that you can see the page that says bonus, how AI can help. Can you guys give me, or someone give me a little thumbs up? Thanks, Ash. Okay, so I want you to see how I use ChatGPT when it comes to blog posts, because like I said, never, ever copy paste what ChatGPT is giving you. So here is my prompt for this client. Please share 4 ideas for blogs. For business, Lemon Myrtle Fragrances, which is Australian owned and made and run by a family. They're passionate about keeping jobs in Australia and creating natural products for skin, hair, food, and pets. Now you can see with that one paragraph, I was very specific. I want it that it's going to be for blogs. It's not for social media posts. It's not for anything else. And I just said 4 ideas for topics. I haven't said 4 topics. And then I've said the name of the business because I want them to be bringing that into it. I've made it really clear how important it is that it's Australian owned and made. And it's very important that they talk about it being family run. And I've talked about what they're passionate about. So it's not just about what products they sell, you'll notice. It's things like keeping jobs in Australia, creating natural products, etc. So then that was my prompt that I put in. And then this is the response. 4 different topics. So I'm just going to read you the first one, and I'm just going to give you the examples of the first as we go through. So unveiling the magic of lemon myrtle, this Australian secret to natural fragrances and more. There's no way that I would ever use that because ChatGPT, even though I was so clear, they didn't understand fully. So we don't want to talk about natural fragrances because a lemon myrtle is actually a plant, bush, I don't know what you want to call it, tree, bush, it's a thing. Anyway, from that, they make an essential oil, and from that, they create their products. So I don't want it to be thought of that it's a natural, well, I don't want to just keep using the word fragrances. The only time we use the word fragrances in their actual business name, which is Lemon Myrtle Fragrances. So I want to be really clear on that I don't just grab that title and go, I'm going to use that. Anyway, then it goes, dive into the world of Lemon Myrtle Fragrances, an Australian-owned business dedicated to harnessing the power of lemon myrtle and creating natural products for various aspects of life. Explore the history, benefits, and versatile uses of lemon myrtle while learning about the family's passion for supporting local jobs and sustainability. Well, I love that. It's a little bit of a who are they kind of a post, isn't it? It's talking about their passion, et cetera, et cetera. Another topic was from farm to bottle, the journey of creating natural goodness with lemon myrtle. I love that topic. Australian pride, supporting local jobs and sustainability with lemon myrtle fragrances, and nurturing with nature, exploring the benefits of lemon myrtle infused products. So all of those are actually really good topics, except for the top one, which of course I would rewrite. Keep in mind, though, I never just want to go copy paste. I always want to make sure that I'm rewording what's coming out. So then let's see what I did next, though. My next prompt was, now, please create clear outlines for each of these blog posts, including subtopic headings, bullet points, and a clear guideline what to include in each. Now, that for me is really important because often I've got notes that I've scribbled down or put into the back end of the website in the new blog post section about what I want to do as a topic, but I haven't actually really formulated what it's going to be. Oh, Kate, the Essential Oil is amazing. I bought their products and love them. Me too. No worries, Michael. Lovely to see you. Thanks. So what I really want you to think about here is that when I haven't got my creative mojo flowing, I really need a little bit of help and structure. Or maybe I've set myself a very, very serious deadline time in which I can write that blog. Maybe I've said, I've got an hour from start to finish to write this blog post and I have to pump it out. Because believe me, if I'm not careful, it could take a whole day. And that is totally not acceptable in terms of, use of my time. So what I want to think about is asking ChatGPT to give me a structure. So remember, we've asked it for ideas and we've asked it then for a structure. We haven't asked for anything to be written for us because I'm never going to do that. So this was the response I got. Blog post 1, unveiling the magic of lemon myrtle, the Australian secrets to natural fragrances and more, which of course I will completely reword. But then I love this. Introduction. Briefly introduce lemon myrtle fragrances, Australian-owned, family-run business. Highlight the focus on natural products for skin, hair, food, and pets. Then, the story behind lemon myrtle. Explore the origins and history of lemon myrtle. Discuss its traditional uses by Indigenous Australians and culinary applications. Then, the versatility of lemon myrtle fragrances. Showcase the range of products offered, skincare, hair care, food, and pet products. Explain the unique properties of lemon myrtle that make it suitable for various applications. So this is the bit where I would actually link some products in there. And then a passionate Australian family, introduce the family behind the business and their commitment to local values, discuss the importance of supporting local jobs and communities, sustainable and ethical practices, and then a conclusion. Now, for me, this is way too long of a blog. So what I could actually do is get rid of this one here, the versatility of lemon myrtle fragrances, which is all about products and all that stuff. Take that one out and just do introduction, the story behind lemon myrtle, talk about why the family is so passionate about lemon myrtle and the products that they create, talk about sustainability and jobs in Australia, etc., and then conclude it. And to me, that's a beautiful, well-rounded blog post, and not one word has been copied and pasted from ChatGPT, but the entire structure of the blog is there ready for me to use. So I don't know about you guys, but that really, really helps me in creating something from scratch that's not using AI to write it, but it's using AI for the ideas and for the structure, because often it's the structure of something that I find a bit of a struggle. But then I want you to know how I would use it next. I would then say, now create me 5 social media posts using this blog post outline. So I'm not even putting the blog that I've written on this topic into there. I'm just using this bit, which was giving me the structure. And then it would say, for example, one social post would be the story behind lemon myrtle. One social post could be about our family. We put a photo up there and say, here we are. And of course, these guys have just finished a trade show where they were all doing it as a family. So I've got loads of photos to use there. Then we could talk about sustainability. We could talk about ethical practices. So in fact, when I said 5 social posts out of it, really that was being silly. I could literally make 15 social posts out of this one blog post structure, if not more. And I'm not going to do them just for this month. I would then do them, say, 2 or 3 per month, but ongoing, because there's no need to just write a blog post, get it out into the world now, and then forget about it. Always we need to come back, refresh those blog posts and keep using them. So then maybe I want to do my YouTube video on the blog post. So then I would say, now out of this, structure of the blog post, create me a caption and a title for a YouTube video. And now create me a LinkedIn post, et cetera, et cetera. All of these I would keep rewording, but the top tip here is not to go off it and use, how do I want to say it, a new chat every time. You want to keep using the same chat within ChatGPT, because the more that you do that, the more that it understands who and what kind of voice you use and all the topics. So keep in mind, when I started with this prompt, I'm not going to go away from it. I'm going to keep going and going and going. And I only showed you that one there with blog post 1 for a structure, but there was actually blog post 2, blog post 3, blog post 4, blog post, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So very, very quickly, you have got a really fabulous list of topics that you can use. So that was 4. Well, it's almost September. We've already done the August one. So whoops, woohoo, we've got September, October, November, December, 4 blog post outlines ready to go. Perfect. So now we have a little gift for you guys, which is 5 tips to better content writing. It's an ebook. Actually, I've just realized I'm not going to give it to you right now. I'm going to send it out in a little email to you this afternoon, because I've just realized I need to give you a new link for it, because I did a little update and the update didn't go into the new link. So I will do that this afternoon and get that to you. I also forgot to tell you guys that we have a little gift for you. Well, no, it's not a gift. It's a giveaway that one person will win. I guess you could call it a competition. So if you want to go in the draw to win a free 101 social media audit strategy session live with me on Zoom, it's worth $7.99. It's recorded. You get a report as well. You get lots of actionable items and strategy tips. If you want to be in this, and we will create the spin the wheel, and we'll do it in literally 5 minutes, spin the wheel. So if you want to be in on that, say yes, please, in the chat, and we will set that up. I think we should actually put in all the people that attended, and then like since the very beginning, because I feel terrible that we didn't mention it until the end. I forgot to tell you about it right at the very beginning. So we've got that free resource for you. We'll send that to us this afternoon. We've got this little giveaway that will spin in a few secs. I told you about the new Shine Online, and I gave you the link to that if you wanted to jump in, and told you that tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. is our very first session. The second session is in a fortnight, and that's in the evening. So I've tried to make it completely different to our other offerings, which are during the day. So this one is 8 a.m. for the Learn Online, and then 5 p.m. for the Ask Me Anything, and they're always on a Tuesday. Okay, so make it easy for people and the crawlers, which is the Google crawler bots, to find you. And you can do that, of course, by using the best possible keywords and long tail keywords, and using terminology that people use, not what you use in your business when they're searching for you. Super, super, super important. And I want you to also remember, go out there and ask for reviews, and also give reviews. So one thing that I do in my business and my personal life too, is I make sure that I go out and I leave reviews every single week, minimum 2 reviews a week. Might be for a cafe, might be for a hairdresser, might be for anything that I have experienced, maybe someone that I've worked with, etc. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to leave them a review, because people believe what other people say about you more than what they believe what you say about you. So make sure you ask for them. You can then incorporate them into your blog posts. So say you're talking about a product, and then you're linking to the product, and then you can also put in some reviews about the product and say, these people have loved it. Maybe it'd be the perfect thing for you as well. So that's really important to ask. I'm going to show you where you could, this is how we ask for reviews. Here you go. Oh, yay. Here's the one for our Google review. So you can turn your Google review link or your Facebook review link into a QR code. So then if you would like to, if you're feeling super generous, this would be great. You can open up your phone, pick up your camera app, and just scan it. And it's such an easy way to ask people for reviews. So I want you to think about, how are you asking the people that you want to review from? How do you ask them? Because it's I know it can be pretty awkward, right? I've asked a number of people for a video review. I felt embarrassed asking, and then I never chased it up. So think about it. What are you doing? How do you do it? Et cetera, et cetera. So for me, because I'm so awkward around that, I just am like, well, boom, here it is as a QR code. Make it super, super easy. As I said earlier, write a blog. Google only loves you when everyone else loves you first. And I'm going to go into my summary right now. But first of all, I just want to say, what was your aha moment for today? What was the one thing that you're going to take away and action straight away? Or what was the one thing that made you go, holy moly, I had no idea about that. And I'm so pleased I came because now I know this. Yay, Charmaine. Love learning from you. Going to relook at keywords and update my existing blogs. I can't tell you how happy that makes me, because I noticed you didn't say, I'm going to go and write a blog. You said, I'm going to update my existing blogs. That is awesome. Although I still hope that you go and write a blog about yourself, a bit of a My Story blog. I love those ones. Kate says, collaborating with other businesses on blog posts. Yay. Andrea says, great info about the chat GPT. Yay. And Amanda says, I need to learn more. Me too. We all have got a lot of learning still to go. Georgina says, how to leverage chat GPT. Jane says, I want to update my blogs and blog regularly. I'm thrilled. Let's look at the summary though. So successful SEO is not about tricking Google. It's about partnering with Google to provide the best search results for Google users. And blog posts that specifically use a variety of on-page SEO tactics can give you more opportunities to rank in search engines and get customers to visit your site. And blogging helps boost SEO quality by positioning your website as a relevant answer to your customers' questions. So I am now going to take a little look at who is our winner, because my team have done a screen. They've did the spin of the wheel. And Barbara, it's you. We have a winner. So congratulations to Barbara Smith. Oh, who actually said, write a blog and connect the links. Learn more about ChatGPT. Yay. And you're going to have an audit with me, Barbara, which I'm super excited about. So congratulations. And we will send you a link so that you can book whenever you're ready. So yay. Good for you, Barbara. And Leanne says, you always remind me to go back, renew the work we've already done and release again. Yay. Thanks for the reminder. You're welcome, Leanne. And congratulations. Lots of lovely congratulations to Barbara. Woohoo, Barbara in the chat. Well done, Barbara. Awesome. So Barbara says, well, I manifested that. That's perfect. I love it when that happens. So that's, oh, Janine says, just updated my Google review online. Yay. Thank you so much, Janine. I really appreciate that. So I just want to say thank you all for being here. Oh, I've just had a little glitchy on this page and it's not quite in line. That doesn't look very pretty, does it? So tomorrow, as I said, is our first session of Learn Online in that new membership offering for the Shine Online Hub. Woohoo! It's $89 a month and you can cancel anytime. So if you want, you can just sign up for the month and try it out. But tomorrow, 8 a.m. is our very first one. We're going to jump on. We're going to learn all about long tail keywords, where to weave it through your content, how to do your alt text, and all sorts of other good stuff. And it will be recorded and it will be in the private Facebook group that same day. So thank you so much to everyone for being here. We'll send you the link once this is on YouTube so that you can rewatch the bits that you need to go back to. And I know I always go so fast. There might be plenty of stuff that you need to refer to. And I really appreciate you guys investing time to hang out with me today, because I know that taking a couple of hours out of your business is not easy when there are a bazillion things to do. So thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Let's have a quick photo because I totally forgot and I always forget till the end. So if you can turn your camera on if you feel like it, do a little wave if you feel like it. I'll count down from 3. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Cool. Thanks, guys. So lovely to see you all. And have a wonderful afternoon. Happy Monday.